Okay, let's get started with lesson 10. And we are already at lesson 10. There are only 13 lessons in decimals. So pay extra close attention. You know that assessment is coming up, and you know that you have to know this by the end of the year. Okay, so lesson number 10. Students will be able to use area models and the number line to compare decimals and record comparisons using less than, greater than, or equal to, or and equal to. The awesome thing is that you guys are ahead of the game because that's really all your problem set did yesterday, except you weren't really using models and number lines. But the biggest chunk of today's problem set is just going to be using greater than, less than, or equal to. So you guys are kind of ahead of the game there. So let's do a couple of problems, and these are actually word problems, but they're actually asking you the same thing. They're asking you to compare decimals. And this first one says, in the bakery, a concha cost 15 cents. Notice that 15 cents is 1/10 and 5/100ths, the same as 1 10-cent coin and 5 pennies. A donut cost 51 cents. Notice that 51 cents is the same as 5/10ths and 1/100th. That would be the same as 5 10-cent coins and 1 penny. Which costs more? So we're going to do this versus that, right? So these are not the same. This is this versus that. So let me think of a concha. So if a concha has 15, I know it's going to color 1 whole 10 because these are tenths and about half of that other tenth. So about here. And if a donut is 51, I know it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just a little bit more so to signify that one. So I know here that a concha costs less than a donut. And let me write that up here. A concha costs less than a donut. All right, moving on to problem 2. If you saw, that was super duper easy, and that's what you would do in the problem set. You will have to give me this first in the top, and then you'll have to draw me your models. Don't freak out. You don't have to make 100 squares. You could cut them into tenths and then shade them accordingly. See how this was supposed to represent 5? Well, I just shaded half of the 10. That way I didn't have to make tiny little squares everywhere, okay? As long as I can tell that you know what you're talking about, I can tell if your representation is correct or wrong. Just try your best. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but I can tell, right? I can tell that this is 15 and I can tell that this is 50 something. But if I look at the problem, I know that it is 51. So it would be 0.15 is less than 0.51. I always do that. I make one different than another one. All right. And second of all, your neighbor will pay you $4.38 to rake the leaves and $4.50 to wash the car. Now, the big question is, which job will earn you more money? And let me actually annotate this one because I didn't annotate the first one. That wasn't the best practice. $4.38 and $4.50. So I know that this one's to rake, this one's to rake, and this one's to wash. And here's my big question, which job will earn me more money? That's what we want to do, make more money. So we know, I'm going to write my important information. Raking will make me $4.38. And I know that washing will make me $4.50. Now, if you came to office hours yesterday, or if you just know there's a rule of thumb, one super easy way to compare numbers is to be able to look from the left to the right. So we look at the left first. 4, 4, oh, so far they match. So far they're equal. 3, 5, oh, already I can tell you that because these two numbers are in the same place value, and this number is bigger, see they're both tenths, but the 5 is bigger than the 3, that right away I can tell you washing is going to make me more money. And let me show you how that's going to look on the number line. Same as with these models, I don't expect you to draw 100 little lines. So let's split it into 10. And let me give you this quick trick. This is how I split things into 10. I split it down the middle first, and then I know I'm going to add 4 lines and 4 lines. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I have 10 total because we're going to count that one and this one, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See how easy it is to split into 10? Let me grab a different marker so that we can see where we are. So 4.38 raking, and I'm going to label that as an R, is going to be 4.123. 4.38 would be around here. I'm going to label it with a big R, raking. And then there's 4.5. 4.1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This would be washing the car. So that is how you will use your number line. There's only a couple, I believe it might be 4 in the problem set for today. So this is how I want you to do it and show your work. So when you see show your work questions, this is what I mean. You don't have to be absolutely tedious and perfect and make 100 little lines and make 100 little squares. Just show me that you can show me in a representation which number is bigger. So here, if I wrote this as a number sentence, I know that 4.38 is less than 4.5 or 4.50. Remember that 0 at the end doesn't make a difference. All right, so go ahead and do your problem set. There are only 24 questions in today's problem set. Pretty straightforward. A lot of them will just be asking you to give you less than, greater than, or equal to, and come to office hours with questions.